Hello and welcome back on the XSBS channel. In this episode, we will discuss about graphical management in planning views for SAP IBP by means of XSBS for IBP. Let's start with the first item in the list, manage layout and formatting. To do so, let me switch to a regular planning view. Like we see, it's an IBP planning view. For that, in XSBS for IBP, the way to do the formatting, it's to show the systems once, following the concept what you see is what you get, show the system what you wish, and then ask the system to replay. So for instance, the header, I want it to be in a, let's say, dark green. I want the first line of my data, starting with projected stock, to be a little less dark, but still green. Say, for instance, this one. And the next rows, next line until the next projected, like it is enough visual on the screen. Then I can also complement that with, okay, I wish to have this row with a certain decimal point. So I am playing again with Excel as per normal. So I want 2 decimals for the first values and then no decimal. Okay, I could be financial and so on. So I'll let you imagine what kind of formatting you can do with Excel. We have everything we can do in Excel, even including conditional formatting, obviously. Once this is done, you return to XSBS ribbon. And here in these graphical blocks, there is a capture button. And the capture buttons will capture what is currently displayed in the screen, save it somewhere, and replay it next time. So let me capture. Now, XSBS for IBP tells me, okay, we've taken a snapshot of the formatting, and next time you do the refresh, it will be applied. So I can refresh by using this shortcut here, and now the formatting is coming as easy as you can assess. It is way different compared to the IBP formatting sheet. A trick here, you have probably seen that data in IBP, XSBS for IBP are shown as Excel table. And this is one of the main features. Therefore, why? Because I wish to be able to filter. But it is too much repeated here. I wish not to see that. So the trick is to say, okay, by the way, part of the formatting, those first lines, I place them in color on color, meaning the values still exist, but I don't see it anymore. Capture again. Yep, tell me. And now refresh. And now we have a nicely working planning view, which has a number of decimal here, the same here, for the same rows here. Let's say I need if I enter something, this is in decimal, but not anymore here because it was not requested. It's not no decimal. You can have conditional formatting. You can have as much as you like in terms of formatting. There is another button which is plot series. You see the plot series tells you that you will have now graphics automatically generated. Here it is. It tells you now what you can do with these graphics, and we'll come back just now. By default, it takes at least one key figure out of the block, but be aware that this is completely flexible and dynamic. That's the way you would insert a graphical. Also, you can say, I wish to have a slicer on the location, because I'm not so keen by playing with the filters this way, like in the standard Excel. So you could also say slicer. You select the column and click slicer. And now I've got a slicer on location. I can have a slicer on product. For instance, here, it's probably a bit too long for the location. And the product is also a little bit too long. Okay. Once I'm happy, click arrange, everything is parked correctly, nicely stuck. And now I can say, okay, show me location 1, okay, for product 1, for instance. And you see the advantage of data being shown in tables, because we can really play with these Excel objects, which are slicers, filters, and so on. Okay? And if you want to delete them, just delete them. Okay? So you may have noticed now, it's step 3, that when inserting a graphic, you have the graphic on top, but also an additional columns coming on the left, which allows you cherry picking which key figure you want to draw into the graphics. And that's really here a very flexible way to do so. So for instance, I wish to have the demand, and let me call this demand. Press enter. Now you see I've got a demand key figure being drawn here. Okay. And I wish also to have the actuals. Let's say actuals. Cool. I've got it. I wish to sum up this and this, or say this one and this one together. Easy. I take that and say the same name here. And automatically the demand key figure is summing up everything which is marked as demand. Now, if I say demand 1, demand 2, I'll let you imagine that it's going to be differentiated. Demand 1, demand 2. Okay. So that's the way we manage key figures to be displayed in the graphics. Of course, the size of the graphics is left to you. The formatting of the graphics is left to you as well. You manage this with normal Excel features, chart design, formatting. It's all pure standard Excel. What is not pure standard Excel, and that's due to XSBS for IBP, that's the relation between this graph selector and the graphic itself. And of course, behind the scene, there is a hidden worksheet, which is so-called the chart feeder of this section. In this section, there is plot, we've seen, slicer, capture, we've already seen. We've seen arrange screen, just to redraw everything correctly. And then there is a more section. In this more section, you can hide the graphics or show again the graphics. Okay. You can go full screen. No more ribbon. Escape key to exit. And we've got graphical settings. In XSBS for IBP, there is many mini settings applied to the different topics. And here, these graphical settings include a number of 5 parameters. You can control the maximum number of graphics. And for each parameter, you have at the bottom, you have some explanations. Number of graphics tells you. The company logo, you see XSBS, you can decide for the size of it automatically. The graphic minimum 8. So if you are going to resize it too short, next time you refresh, it will anyway re-increase the size to the 100 dots here, for instance, 100 pixels. Then graphic fits the table, 1-to-1, or fit to the display, meaning here, the graphic would be shown in 1 for the full period set. And last but not least, you have the follow me options. So currently the follow me options is block. It can be no follow me, or follow by block, or follow by cursor. Let me show you first the follow by block. So say, for instance, you have this graph, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and you've seen them. You may have noticed that there is a follow me button. So first time in the block where you are, you just click once, follow me. It tells you what to do after, which is in fact, go anywhere you like, follow me, and then follow me. And if you are lazy clicking, you may have noticed that Alt F2 works also in order to say, oh, come back here, and Alt F2, and it comes back here. So it's a nice way to embark with you the setup of a block, graphical settings for a block, and move it from block to block, easy. The other option, which is follow me by line, it's a very basic one. By cursor, it's a very basic one. You take one, for instance, let's this one, and you say Alt F2, as I said. Now the system says, this is cursor, you see the cursor graph. So here there is no data, we don't see, but here there is data. And anytime now I press Alt F2 or the button, it follows me, but only one value one key figure at a time. Okay. And for that, it's just to ease the way you navigate against data. And that was about the follow me options, which we see here. This is it. We have seen some of the graphical settings available in XSBS for IBP. I hope you appreciate the simplicity, how to manipulate them. Next episode, we will see further actions, further elements in XSBS, and in particular, the data analysis section. For the time being, have a nice weekend. See you soon.